All right, good morning. Neil here with the Off the Lip Radio Show and my series Who's Here in Santa Cruz. I'm here with Ricardo Urbina, and
Jack, Akrop.
That's right, Jack.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
What have we been doing this morning? What hell did you put me through? What was that?
Amazing. Well, we did a really tough exercise with, trying to force ourselves to stay calm when we have our heart rate really high and high levels of CO2 in our blood, and kind of like trying to simulate some of the sensations that we get in the ocean when we get caught in the middle of like a big set or when we wipe out, our heart rate's really high and we don't have the option to breathe whenever we want to. We just have to walk around.
So what's the program called?
So the program, we do it together with the Santa Cruz Waterman and Apex Peak Performance Coaching, and what we do is we have an apnea class here at the Soquea High School.
Yeah.
We do bi-weekly classes on here in the morning between 6 in the morning and 7:15, and yeah.
Jack, you teaching it too, or are you just participating in it?
So I'm Jack Akrop. I run Central Coast Waterman, which is a waterman school in Santa Cruz, mostly for kids, but adults too. Just teaching prone paddling, stand-up paddling, surfing, ocean safety awareness. I'm a lifeguard for the state.
Yeah.
And Ricardo, I met as he's my coach. So I train the sport of surf lifesaving, which is all the stuff the kids in town do with junior lifeguards.
Yeah.
There's a whole sport in Australia.
Yeah.
And I went from getting 10th place, or not even getting on the podium, to last year I worked with Ricardo and I got 2nd place out of the best lifeguards in the United States.
Really?
And that was just 3 months working with this guy doing this training, and along with his triathlon training, he put me together a 3-month plan. So I can only speak like the highest things about what we're doing down here. I'm just helping out, and I feel this stuff really works. Like it's amazing.
It's the hardest workout. I've done a lot of workouts. This is the hardest I've ever done.
Yeah.
Because how much mental is it over physical?
I would say for me, he can speak better on this, but for me it's all mental. Like it's getting comfortable with that urge to breathe, and most people don't realize that you can go so much farther past that initial urge.
Yeah. Like
you're only halfway to really actually being in serious trouble, and that translates to any sport you want to do out there, because at a certain level it becomes all mental. Like there's an even playing field, and it's the people that can rise above that mental hurdle.
We like to see how we do. Like we see how much we lift, or how much we can run, how far we can run, but what we forget or don't work on is our breath, or breath intake and exhalation and inhalation. Right?
Yes.
We do the sport. We play whatever sport you do, but you don't pay attention to your breath.
Absolutely.
What's inside your body, right?
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, it's all about, how strong our respiratory system is.
Yeah.
I think I like to always tell both of them is through the heart rate variability.
Yeah.
Which is fully related to the way we breathe.
Yeah.
So our breath really can control our emotions and how our brain functions and think and make decisions, as well as how our body can work. So what type of physical exertion it can do, right?
Yeah.
So that's the power of what of really working on our breathing and strengthening our respiratory system. The other thing I wanna kind of highlight with what you're saying is it's interesting to see as people keep coming back, how quickly they can adapt to the training and to getting that higher levels of CO2 and comfortability underwater, holding their breath.
You also go backwards if you don't come.
Yes.
You feel yourself deteriorate. You feel yourself like surfing, right? You're running. Your paddling arms don't paddle well when you haven't been surfing. So you go backwards too.
Yes.
But I like what you said the other day about the NFL players. You train NFL players, how their play would last 40 seconds. They switch, or they're going to go up. You work with the breath with the NFL players, correct?
Yes. And the training is very similar. What we do here in the pool, and what we try to teach people when they try to surf big wave or bigger wave, because it's relative to a person. But the idea is to teach yourself how to recover quickly in between efforts, in order for you to recharge for the next interval, effort, next wave,
Yeah.
next set, whatever you name it.
Yeah.
But that's the key. Doing apnea is just one way to do something like that.
So you're doing this with the kids? Do you do this with the kids on the beach?
Yeah,
The breath training?
Ricardo's come down and done some breath training.
Yeah.
I already have previous experience, nothing, I'm not certified in apnea training, but I have, just experience as a big wave surfer for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So I started to, kind of train the kids on the things that I learned, and then I brought Ricardo in, and he's done some, hour-long clinics with the kids. And it's been really helpful, especially for the real little kids that are very scared to dolphin dive under the waves, and they get held down for 1 second and they think they're gonna die.
Right.
And he came down, and within one day, the kids were so much more calm in the water, and so now that's been a big practice of what we do at Central Coast Water.